So, episode 4 showed us the beginning of the postpartum journey of Karen, dealing with going through an emergency C-section, giving birth, and losing one of her babies. And she's going to be in a major funk for quite a while. Now, I was reading comments on the episode review and the live stream, and some people, are like, all right, one comment cracked me up. Now, Jeremy, do you think like Karen's depression is going to last as long as her pregnancy did? I'm sorry. Is Karen's depression going to last as long as her pregnancy? I hope not, because that pregnancy was what, season 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then at the beginning of season 9 is when she finally gave birth. I don't think we want to see 5.5 seasons of Karen being stuck in this rut. Clearly, this is something you don't get over permanently. The hurt is always going to be there. But in terms of her being stuck in bed and lashing out at everyone, nobody wants to deal with all that. But I mentioned this in the video about Aaron taking their baby and leaving, or, Karen choosing which baby she wanted out of the two, if she could pick one to survive. I wonder if Karen's funk, because she says one thing in particular that stood out to me in the trailer for next week. She mentioned, and this is when she's still in bed, I ain't meant to be a mother. Yeah, that's not something you can just ignore now. I know one person was like, do you think Karen's going to give that baby up for adoption or something? I said it before, and I'll say it again. Regardless as to which baby made it and which baby was born or stillborn, Karen would clearly still be in some sort of a rut, funk, or whatever. But not wanting to breastfeed and things like that, y'all anime fans, anybody an anime fan? I know this reference is going to go over a lot of people's heads, but Dragon Ball Z, one of the greatest debates that still is going on to this day for a series that's like decades old, the manga, anime, or whatever. People were mad, like, whose fault was it that Cell went perfect? Who's the biggest one to blame? Vegeta for letting him absorb Android 18, Trunks for attempting to stop him but not killing 18 when he had the chance, or Krillin, who had the remote control that Bulma made that would shut the android down and prevent Cell from reaching his perfect form, or 18 herself for being, a rubberneck and not leaving the scene when she had the chance. And Krillin crushed the controller, and then a series of events happened, and boom, 18 got absorbed, Cell became perfect and kicked everybody's ass. Some people thought, like, you know what? He only did that because he had a crush on 18 because she kissed him on the cheek. Now switch it over. What if Cell absorbed Android 18 first rather than Android 17? And then when Krillin got the device, Cell was on the hunt for 17 to become perfect. I highly doubt Krillin would have any reservations about not hitting the remote control button to stop 17 from being active and then getting absorbed. He would do it in a heartbeat, as opposed to at 18, he hesitated and eventually destroyed the controller. Now, when it comes down to it, he made a decision based off of his feelings, what he wanted, which was 18, and he eventually got married, yada, yada, yada. So, the reason I bring this up is to compare this to Karen. Do you think she is mourning the loss of her baby, and that's why she's in this funk? Or is it that she's not the mother she thought she would be because she's not the mother of Zach's child like she wanted? Because I think that if it was Zach's baby that made it, while yes, she would miss her child that she had with Aaron, I don't believe she would be neglecting like breastfeeding and things like that. I don't. I feel like she would cultivate and care for that child because that's her only tether to Zach. But since Forever passed away, that tether is gone. There is no more linking to Zach. So I think, on some level, she's mourning the baby, but I think she's mourning her connection to Zach even more, because at this point, there is nothing, absolutely nothing tying her to Zach at all. The only quote unquote link is only with Fatima and the fact that there were, she's the legal representation for the investment for Marie Willis to Roots to Riches. That's on a business level. That has nothing to do with Zach. Nothing. Nada. At all. So at this point, I feel like she's mourning that more than her child. Because I'm not meant to be a mom. Would you be saying that if it was Zach's baby that was in your apartment? Because if it was Zach's baby, Zach would be in your apartment right now. Not Aaron. Well, I mean, Aaron would probably still be there, but I don't know if Karen would want him around. I ain't going to hold you. Because, even when it was thought to be one baby instead of two, it was thought to be one baby before it was known it was two. He was adamant to let Karen know, look, even if the child isn't mine, I'd love it like it was my own. But I honestly feel that if Zach's baby made it instead of Aaron's, Aaron wouldn't have a support system, because I think Karen might low-key ignore him. I believe that she would be, gushing at the fact that, oh, Zach is here and this is our baby and this is that. Aaron, go cry in the corner somewhere. We don't need you right now. We don't need you right now. I honestly think that's what Karen will be up to. I do. I honestly do. And on top of that, you got to look at the fact that, I'm not fit to be a mom. I don't want to breastfeed. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to attack Karen because she's going through a lot right now, emotionally and whatnot, and mentally and physically. But I feel like she doesn't want to be a mom because Zach's baby's gone. That's the only reason why. I keep thinking back to her adamant Zach is the father, unwilling to accept any sort of potential theories regarding a timetable or schedule for Aaron being the father, denying him he's the father multiple times, pulling out these random DNA test results, which the new writers claim was fake. Hey, there's no chance in the world you're the father. I need you to go. Zach's baby's gone. And Karen knows that. And now she realizes that she has no possible way to reinsert herself into Zach's life whatsoever. And like I said before, the only possible reason I could see these two having even a conversation is like deciding whether or not they'll hold some sort of service for forever. But if not, like, that's it. Zach is grieving and now is thinking about taking care of Fatima as she is about to get bigger as their baby is being born. So you got to think about Karen is wallowing in self-pity. Their baby is gone. Zach isn't going to be around. And on top of that, we don't know exactly how far along into a pregnancy Fatima is. Given the fact that I believe she is supposed to have a baby bump in season 4 of Zatima, I think we'll have a doctor's visit in season 4. So maybe we'll get a time frame for how far along she is. But Karen might also be pissed off because of the fact that she's going to know that Fatima is going to be receiving all of the love and attention from Zach during her pregnancy that she wasn't given during hers. So that's why a lot of people are feeling the same way. Karen's going to revert back to her old bitter self because of the fact that she's mourning and might be sent off the deep end. So it's realistic to say that she might be more unhinged now than when she was pregnant. And everybody kept saying, oh, it's the hormones and whatnot, but it's going to be a whole lot of stuff right now. And also, when I mentioned before about Aaron, like if the roles were reversed and, Aaron was the one who lost his baby, Karen wouldn't pay him any mind. Think about what Miss Lisa said after they had sex. Karen, are you really feeling Aaron right now? Or is it the hormones? And now that the babies have been born, That's a good question. How will Karen feel about Aaron now? I mean, they weren't in a relationship, but they were getting pretty cozy. I'm talking like season 2, Karen and Aaron levels of cozy. But now that the hormones are about to, shift again and pregnancy is over, what is she going to think about Aaron now? Because now it's like the runner up, the guy you used to distract yourself while Zach got his life together because you assumed you two would just get back together like you usually did. That's the one you're stuck with. So that's the way, the world turns. Karma, like, you refuse to allow yourself to, you were like the gum stuck to the bottom of Zach's shoe that refused to be scrubbed off. Nuh-uh, hey, I'm with you to the end. But now that's gone. Zach was able to get, a Lysol wipe and just clear that gum off. Now you look at the bottom of your white boots and that's Aaron, along with the baby. The man you didn't want to have a baby with because you didn't know him well enough, that's the man you're stuck with. What goes around comes around. Okay, that's enough of that. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Like, what exactly is she mourning more? I mean, heck, another reference to comics here, but I think about Injustice, Gods Among Us, year 1, when Superman went to the Batcave to visit Bruce to, talk to him about, like, with everything that happened, I thought you'd help out around the world with the rest of us heroes, but are you down here mourning the death of the Joker? Or are you mourning, what happened to the friends and whatnot who perished when Metropolis blew up? It's kind of the same thing. It's like you're down here, sulking, but what are you, missing the most? So, yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think Karen second guessing motherhood and not wanting to interact with her baby Faith is due to grief of losing her other daughter, or simply due to the fact that she's mourning the loss of her, future with Zach? So like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.